Welcome to Joycast, and I'm your host, Joy in the Morning. Where here we take the time to get deep into what life has taught us through the ups and downs, the good and the not so good, and how through the power of God we are able to find the joy in it all. So join me as we challenge ourselves to take any situation life has given you and cast some joy on it. Good afternoon. This is Joycast, and I'm your host, Joy in the Morning. Just wanted to say hello to everyone out there and thank you for tuning in if you are. And if you listened last week, I spoke on finding the joy in raising, my babies. And I talked a little bit about that. And then when we were done with the segment, me and Kovan, he's my partner in crime here, we talked about how sometimes it's not joyful. And we said we're going to just continue the conversation today. And so I have him here, and we are ready. We are ready to dialogue and find the joy in those tough days where we kind of don't want to deal with kids.
Well, thanks for letting me do this and talk about this. I don't ever really talk about my parenting ever because I don't have none of my friends are parents. I'm the only friend out of all my friend groups that have kids, besides like some people at church, but we're not like that close. So I don't have anybody to like talk and like share like similar things. All my friends are older.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your child.
Well, I have a 5-year-old boy.
Mm.
He's his name is Kyrie. I just got tired just thinking about him. No, I'm just playing. He's a lot of fun. He's born in January of 2019. It's just he and I, just me and him. Due to unforeseen circumstances, but it's been a blessing just being his dad. It's kind of fun actually. I kind of like telling people that I'm a single dad. Like, yeah, where's the mom? It's just me. And they're like, look at me with such amazement. Like, yeah, be amazed. Yeah. I'm just playing, but it's it's rewarding. It's fun. I just like when he's walking around. He's like, Dad, come look at this. Dad, come here, come here, come here. Dad. That's me all day.
Well, I love sitting here talking to you because you have this big smile on your face as you share with us about him.
I love that boy. He just makes me so happy. He really does. Like you saw my phone. He's my background on my phone. Like I just as tired as I get, I just can't seem to get enough of him at all. So and his little voice too is so cute and sweet. He actually really is a sweet kid. So
and I think it's so important, like we touched last week on changing the narrative. To me, I'm on this whole perspective kick. I've learned about perspective and how it changes how we view things.
Yeah.
And so I think what I really want to give off is that we have to change the perspective in parenting because for so long, we look at it again as a job or like a punishment or like,
yeah, definitely. Like this morning, actually, my alarm went off and I was like, okay, here we go again. Like, and it's like, it wasn't like hard, but it was just like the repetitive thing. I'm like, okay, well, here we go again. But I'm like, but that is actually really good what you said to change the perspective. Like, okay, well, instead of me thinking like, well, I got to get up and I got to do this again. Like, thank God I get to wake up next to this boy. Like, that's good. I probably should slow down a little bit and kind of think about it from that end. So.
Well, one thing I can say is after raising my 10 babies, that I look back now and I cannot believe how time flew.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like in the blink of an eye. They were babies and I was raising them and loving them and just they were my life. And then one by one, graduation, then they move out. Then the next one, graduation, moving out. And pretty soon, like when Mia left, she's my baby. Oh man, I didn't know what to do.
Really?
No, I was used to cooking in big pots and washing, clothes all the time, like around the clock. And now I look back and I'm like, wow, I really miss that.
For real?
Yeah, I really missed it. But it was my life. I
Yeah.
didn't work outside of the home.
Okay.
You know, I was there 24/7. Literally, I didn't have family to help me. I did it. Well, me and, my late husband.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I could ask you, what is the toughest part for you right now? Him being 5 years old, because I know they're rambunctious.
Let me like really think about that. So, because I can name a few things, but it's just minor stuff. So really, like, no, I don't. I don't want to say like that. So the toughest part probably is not have like I have a lot of help outside of home, but not like in the home. Like sometimes I need to go do something real quick, and I don't have time to like throw him in the car or like like I just want to be like, oh, I'll be right back. Can you just stay here? I'll be right back in an hour. Like that's it. Like I need to go to the gym, but no, I got to drive all the way across town, drop him off, do this, and then while I'm out doing what I got to do in the back of my head, like right now, because he's with my grandmother. In the back of my head, I'm like, okay, well, as soon as I'm done doing what I'm doing, I gotta go there, I gotta get him. Now I'm thinking about that. So I think that one of the toughest things is just not having somebody not at my disposal, because I guess I do, because like I said, I have a lot of help, but not in the home, not in home help. So, but I don't know if I really need it, because I mean I made it this far, so
yes. We've been doing it,
and I don't want nobody coming in and messing up my routine. We got it down.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Oh, and that just helps when you have a routine and they've got a routine. Yeah. It just works.
So that's probably the toughest part, and then just the transition, because we just moved. We moved to a different city, same school, so that helps. But I mean, we're closer to like our friends and our family, but probably that just like getting up a little bit earlier and driving like that much further, it does make a difference. It really do.
And then you have to create a new routine.
Mm-hmm. So like right now, so
yeah.
So yeah, but
so I've heard you talk about your dad
and
how close you guys have been.
Yeah,
and you shared with me like my dad is just very present in your life.
Absolutely.
So if you think about your relationship with him and you growing up, what are one or two things that really stand out to you that your dad really instilled in you?
He literally would do anything for us. Anything. I don't even anything I need. I don't even have to question it. He'll do it. So like the sacrifice, that's definitely one thing. And just like his expression of his love to us, like all of us, all his kids. I said like he got 15 kids. It's only 3 of us, but all like he loves us all equally but differently. It's pretty good to watch. So
I love that.
So that's definitely something that I take away from him. Especially it's interesting because his dad wasn't like present in his life like at all. Like he was there, but he was not available at all. I think he told me he was 27 the first time he heard him, remembers him saying that he loved him. I'm 26. So I'm like, I can't even imagine.
Oh my goodness.
So I remember, and we used to joke about this. Like my dad, like, I love you guys. I'm like, we know, like as if we were just so tired of hearing it. But that's how much he made sure we knew that he did or does love us. So like that. So just those two things, the sacrifice and just like his expression for like his love to his kids.
Wow, that's beautiful. I talked a little bit about how I kind of dealt the same thing with my mother, where I was 32 before she told me she loved me. And like your dad, I think what we do, we take the things that we didn't get from our parents and we pour them into our children.
Yeah.
And you just said like, your dad didn't get that. And so look how much he showered you guys.
Yeah. And it wasn't even like material stuff either, because we didn't have like a whole like the stuff that I'm able to provide to Kyrie, like we didn't necessarily have. Like we had everything we needed, but like not like you know what I'm trying to say. Like we never like we would do our back to school shopping out like this discount stores and Goodwill. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that, but because we had it, we had the clothes, we had everything we needed always. So
exactly. And so from your upbringing with your dad, tell me one thing that you have taken, or two if you want, and that you're really like, you're just like, I'm doing this for Kyrie.
Um, putting God first.
Love
We
it.
had no choice. Like that was like
Love it.
I actually remember I called him not long ago, and I was actually literally just was like, "Thank you for like putting us in, like keeping us in church." Like my dad was the youth pastor at our church for like over 20 years, so everybody knows who he is. So which means he was very active. So now I'm grown and I'm extremely active at the church as well, and my goal is for Kyrie to do the same. And I was praying about that earlier today. Um, just just let I want him to be like involved, but like because he wants to be,
Right.
not because like, oh well my dad said.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one thing, like because now that I think back about it, like I didn't really want to go to church as a kid. I was just like, okay, like we just did it, but like I learned and developed that relationship on my own and like kept it going. So that's a big one. Yeah, just staying in church and remembering, just making God your foundation. Like that's it.
And I don't think that we see that when our parents are saying, "Come on, go to church. We got to go
Yeah.
to church," and we kind of fight them. We don't see that there's going to be that day like
Mhm.
you're experiencing it now,
Yeah.
where you're going to look back and say, "Like, thanks, Dad."
Yeah, and it makes it. It's like it's hard, but it's not. Like there's challenges, but like when you do things the right way, like put God before everything that you do, including your parenting, then you'll be rewarded. That's what I believe. So,
Well,
and my reward is being Kyrie's dad. So like that's great.
yeah. And see, when you talk about it, there's a joy that comes from you.
Yeah.
That there's a joy that comes from within, and people need to hear that because I know, like we talked about, not every day is joyful.
Mm-hmm.
You told me last week sometimes you didn't want to.
I was 1 o'clock already. I gotta go get Kyrie. I just want to keep driving past the school, wave goodbye like this. I see you at 3. Come back at 3. I mean, he's only there for like what 5-6 hours. That goes by fast. Yeah, it does. But like today, like it's always the same. Every time I go, he could see me through the gate, and he likes like this, and his eyes just get all big, and then he runs out, and that's that I love. So
that is the reward right there.
And I know it won't last forever, so I just take it all in. I'm like, yeah. So.
And it's so amazing, it's so beautiful that when we pour into our children's with that joy, with that love, knowing that it's not just a job and a punishment.
Yeah. I hate when parents say that.
When their little eyes light up when they see you and they actually run to you, it's like to me, it's the absolute best feeling.
You said punishment. Some parents, and I hate when they say this, well, your kids treat you like that because you were bad to me. Like, no, that's not. I can't stand. That I don't like. So that was just a thought. But
I've even heard so many people say, like, I can't wait till they turn 18 because then they're out of the house. And I'm like, oh, I didn't want my babies.
Really?
No.
Yeah, that kind of stuff that's not good parenting in my opinion. But I've only been a parent to one for 5 years. So, and then speaking of perspective, your perspective is totally different now because you are still a mother and you still have children, but your kids are grown.
Yes.
So, do you like when they reach out to you for stuff? Do you feel like less of a need to want to help them, or is it the same? Like, oh, you're grown, you'll figure it out.
Yep. Always willing to do. And I tell them, I'll always be here to listen to you guys, no matter what. Zero judgment.
Yeah.
Always listen. If I can help you, I'm going to help you. But because I have my own life now, there's going to be days where I have to say no. Yeah. And that was tough in the beginning.
Really?
I didn't like to say no.
And my dad, he says no sometimes. And I'm like, but looking back, I'm glad that he said no at certain points.
Well, and it's good. Yeah. I was just kind of like, I was a little codependent. Mm-hmm. And now that I've learned my boundaries, healthy boundaries, and I can say, no, it doesn't work for me. It was so cool to see that they managed.
Really?
Yeah, they worked it out.
Yeah, they'll be okay.
They worked it out,
That's good.
And knowing that I could just fix and solve, because by nature, I just love to fix. And I was like, hey, I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And so there was peace in that for me. And I used to always tell them I want to be grandma, not the babysitter. So there was a lot of learning, a lot of saying no, a lot of healthy boundaries. But yeah, if you're out there listening and you're a parent and you just feel like pulling your hair out on those days, all I can tell you is take some very deep breaths and just know that there'll come a time where they'll grow and they'll go, you know, and
Yeah.
the time goes by so fast.
It's
Really
scary to think about.
fast.
You are right. I mean, he's already 5. I mean, the day he was born feels like yesterday. I remember every single detail about it. That was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like that long
And
ago,
it seems
but
like when they start kindergarten, it's
yeah,
like it goes from there.
yeah. He can't wait to go to school.
Yeah.
He be excited. I'm like, oh, okay. But I'm not like one of them parents. I'm not finna cry at the gate. Oh my! When I remember his first day of school, these parents was looking over the gate, like blowing their kids kisses. I was hiding like this. I was like, I don't want him to see me. I ran up out of there. I was like, all right, have a good day. I'll be back in a couple hours. So.
Well, I have to say, Kavan, that I really commend you because a lot of children are growing up without fathers.
Yeah.
A lot of them are growing up without mothers, broken homes. And I commend you because you're young and you're doing such a great job. And it really does, it really does show how you were up, you were brought up with your dad.
Yeah, I want to actually touch on that a little bit, like, because I am a single dad, and people act like like I said, I like to say that, but I was just trying to be like funny. But people, I don't think they're used to seeing like active parents, especially active single fathers. But it's like I don't know if they're like ashamed or something, but it's nothing to be ashamed of. Parenthood or fatherhood is actually probably one of the most important relationships that any like it's like the foundation at home, like having a good dad. Like you can tell, like, even before you get to know anybody, whether their parents were in their life or not,
Exactly.
or active in their life.
Yeah, my children were blessed because they had their dad, all their life, and it just made a difference. And I used
It
to
does.
tell, I still tell folks today, I'm like, single moms can do as much as they can for their children, but you can't do the job of a dad, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And there's just things that dads need to do in their children's lives.
And they do. And for people who hear this, they just step up. Like, there, don't be afraid. Like, be that parent. Be the father that your children need you to be. Yes. Because it always will come back to you. Always, whether you care about it or not, it comes back to you.
Yeah. And again, I hear what we're talking about is, I've been saying a lot, is changing the perspective, looking at it a different way. And by what you're doing and what you just shared, you're changing the narrative.
I want to see. At first, I never thought about it like that, but like recently, like just just been praying and fasting and stuff. Like, I'm looking at life differently, and I want to change the narrative. Like, and I really like, and I can see uh, like you can tell when fathers are fathering their children for real, and when they're not. So, and like I said, it's okay to be like, do that. Be a dad. Don't be ashamed. Don't be nervous. Don't be care about what nobody think. Exactly. So the only thing, like, sometimes I get a little insecure about is like, he does not actually have a mom. Like, it's just me. So, like, I guess it's kind of the same as like when a kid is at school and they're like, well, where's your dad? And then they're like, oh, I don't know. But like, I never really actually, I'm starting to think about it now. The older he gets, and everybody's like, all the kids are like, oh, my parents this, my parents that. And then so one day he's gonna be asked where's his mom, and I wonder what his answer is gonna be, and how, like, if he's gonna be secure in that. That is a prayer for him that I do have, that he is always secure and only in like his situation, because it's unique. It's very unique. So,
well, I'll be praying with you on that one. And but again, we talked about how sometimes when we have so much love from one parent, that we don't even realize that we have lack of the other parent, because they just do and give so much of them.
And that goes a really long way. Yeah, it does. Because a two-parent household, very strong, but one parent with the love of two can go all, even in ways that you can't even imagine.
And Jesus at the center.
And that's it. You put him first. Put him first, because if you don't, stuff is just gonna fall apart. And I've learned that the hard way. So,
and I didn't have Jesus when I first started having children.
yeah.
I just, I was, like I said, everything was trial and error. And man, I used to mess up and I get up and do it over and try again.
Yeah.
But then once I found Jesus and knew that, wow,
Yeah.
like he's my helper in everything.
Mm-hmm. And
those really tough days, all I have to do is just call on him, call his name. And it's like he showed up.
Yeah.
And he showed me how. He really did. He showed me how to be a parent.
And I believe the same for me. And he put people in my life that show me different things to try, like the help that I was talking about. Like there's patterns and like routines and things that I was able to pick up from them, healthy ones that I picked up from them that I implemented in my own parenting, and it really goes a long way. And I know that was God. I know that. There's no doubt in my mind. Like the people that are placed, he's very strategic. He's very strategic
and on time,
and very very timely. So in me being saved, I realized that was God in His hand. So
well, I'm super excited. I'm excited every time we talk. There's just so much that comes out of our conversations.
It is, and I was thinking about that too the other day. I was driving. I was like, dang, like we be having some pretty meaningful conversations, and just like just our relationship just being cultivated and stuff. That was something I prayed for as well when I got back to church. Was like, I want relationships with church people, like meaningful ones. Like, and I think this is a pretty meaningful one.
Yes, it's answered prayer for me too.
Mm-hmm.
And again, for the listeners, one more time, if you can find something joyful in parenting,
it's there. It's there. There's always like you. I was actually just talking to my dad about that. Like you can have all these negative things happen, and if you only are focusing on the negative things, then it was a whole overall a negative experience. Like I can never actually say that I've had a bad day. Like when I got into the car crash, the doctor was like, she's like, oh, I'm sorry you're having such a terrible day. And I was like, I never said I was having a bad day. Like, yeah, like it's just like that. Like, like the perspective, like you said, it really does make a big difference. So there's the single parents and the single fathers and even the single mothers. It's every day is grueling, seems like. And when you wake up, now he's 5 years old. But if you like today, like I'm at home, I'm trying to get some work done around the house, and he's asking me 10 million questions, and I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, okay. But I just slowed down, and I was like, well, I'm not looking at it from the lens of a 5-year-old. Like, let me just slow down. Like, what do you want to know? Because I was doing some work on on the house and stuff, and he just wanted to help. That's it. So I was like, come on. So
how many times do we stop to do that? To really ask them, or even to just ask them, how's your day going? Like, really, like,
yeah,
what are you going through today?
I mean, and I ask because sometimes he'll just be spacing out, and I genuinely say, what are you thinking about? Like, I mean, he's only 5 years old, but he got a brain. Like, he think about something.
Yes.
So
definitely. Well, thank you for your amazing wisdom at such a young age.
Well, thank you for letting me share.
Yeah, I love it. And next week, we're going to come back and we're going to have another guest. And we're going to be talking about forgiveness versus unforgiveness and what that does to us. And so hope you join us. We're going to go, not audio next week, right?
Visual. So you can see the vision.
Yes. And so I can't wait to see you guys. Hope I can see you. And you'll be able to see me and my guest. And so just want you to know that I love you. We're doing this to help you however we can. We know that it's tough being a parent. There's going to be those days, but if we can help you in any way, we're here for you. And thank you so much for tuning in.
Oh, and the questions, if anybody wants questions, topic discussions, the email. Let me pull it up here really quick so people can know where to send their questions if they have any. Yes. The email here is joyinthemorning 31 at gmail.com. Don't forget that.
I love it. And yeah, don't be afraid to ask me anything. I am like this open book that we can talk about anything you want, and it's no judgment. I promise you that. And don't you know that we all need an outlet like that? So I'm here for you. I love you. I wish you a good day, a better week. And thank you. And this is Joy in the Morning.